God bless America. I stated that I agree that there is systemic racism in America and that life here has not been as good for many black people. And I also said that it is not the systemic racism that black people usually refer to. There are three major systems in our lives. The first system is that of the family unit. The next system is that of the school system, and the final system is our occupation or forms of employment. For too many black people, our first system is failing us because we do not have our parents there to give us a good perspective of life and living, which will prepare us to integrate into society, to learn and to work. We take for granted how this first arm of socialization helps us to fit in and take part in structures that help us to develop and grow productively. So hi again to all my viewers. I'm Sophia Worrell, and I'm building a case that Black Lives Matter. And I want to welcome new viewers and those who are supporting my videos. I have my placard just like Black Lives Matter, and this has been a new area for me, but in the midst of the pandemic and lockdowns, I'm having to diversify like many people. So let us get to work as I build a case for Black Lives Matter. I mentioned the issue of access to a certain lifestyle in America for many black people. I want to show a correlation between not having the father in the home who is providing a sense of security that leads to confident, well-adjusted children and young people. We underestimate the family unit in the black community, and that is why I'm leading into the topic of how all of this came about. Many times we hear that we must know our history, and yet we act as though black history started in America with slavery. It did not start here in America or Africa, but it started at creation when God created Adam and Eve. This set the tone for us to follow from those first humans which our Lord joined together and stated, "For this reason a man will leave his father and mother and will be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh." God, who had created the man first, then the woman next, told them to have dominion over the world. I'm going to touch on what I mean when I say that phrase, dominion over the world. We'll talk about that in the next video. This is so important to know because it tells us that we as human beings are already empowered, but the black man has not realized his power. I believe that this is explained in the story of Noah, or the accounts rather of Noah and his sons, when after the flood, Ham saw his father's nakedness, and Noah had placed a curse on him that he would be the servant of his two brothers. We know that after the flood, the brothers and their wives went to different areas of the world, and we now can track that it was Ham who went to Africa, and because of that, out of him came the persons who have darker skin tone like I do. That curse has crippled the black nation, and all over the world we still see evidence of black people who live in substandard environments and mainly are at the bottom of the workforce. That is why I stated that the structural racism that black people are undergoing is not actually in society, but it is the home. The way that children are socialized is passed now into the school system, the workplace, and other encounters as they socialize and encounter the general public. We must envelop the system that God created as far as the home is concerned. The home is the foundation of society, and the man and the woman bring balance to children. Notice I always want to say balance and not equality. These children need what the father brings, and they need what the mother brings. When we talk about marriage is the way in which children find security and the ability to go out and conquer the world. Marriage is also a promise that the couples make that they will stay together and build a future not only for themselves but for their children. This is something that has not been properly established in the black family. Many black children do not have that luxury, and it's for this reason that they are unable to enjoy the simple things of life and appreciate the criteria that is in place to climb the economic ladder. Now we can see where the handicap begins. In order to compensate for black kids who do not have basic skills, society is forced to lower standards for them. And that is why it is becoming very, very hard for black people and black adults to find joy in the pursuit of happiness as stated in the Constitution. Instead of being trained by dad who has a work ethic and models what it means to go out and do honest work for honest salary, most black kids hear mother complain about work and watch her struggle to make ends meet, forcing them to have to grow up and help her instead of building their own lives in a proper way. Black people are generally called minority, and that sounds derogatory and offensive, and many activists are demanding equality but fail to understand that this is not possible in that black people represent a small part of the population, which is made up by the majority of European people. So minority isn't mean that you're small really. It means that it's just a small population. A majority of, on the opposite, means that there are more of these people. So quickly, when we talk about the black society and or the black community and the white community, if you there would do some homework and look at how many people are in the United States of America, which is about 380 million people, you will see that the percentage of that number that blacks represent is about 12 or 13%, I think it is. So that's a really, really small part. That's why we call the minority. Anyhow, I'll move on. The difference in European people from specific countries is that they have a sophisticated lifestyle that they're accustomed to, in contrast to black people who really come from third world countries and islands, and they are a little bit more primitive in their ideology and experiences. This may seem again demeaning, but the attitudes that black people have been displaying more frequently is revealing a simple-mindedness that is spilling over into society in a way that is annoying to people who just want to lead a life of work and play with as less drama than what black people are now showing and spilling out into their communities. The fact is that black people have been too visible with their demands, their drama, their dysfunction and annoyances, and they have a in-your-face behavior that is very that is destroying black people, black communities, and is threatening. So we can't have that anymore. We've got to up our game. We have abused social systems, and that is supposed to help us to function and move up the ladder. But what we're seeing time and time again is that because black people stay on these programs, it is not only a detriment to them, their children, and the community, but again, like I said, now that kind of behavior which was set in one area, now because black people are so angry, they're spilling it out into the lives of other people who have used those systems to move up and move on. I'm saying a lot, and I'm going to kind of like stop here, because this is going to bring me to my next videos. I can't say all in one video, but I'm just asking black kids to really listen to this and to hear the facts that I'm saying and use it as a way to have a discussion and to talk about what is happening, not in a way now that is supposed to make you feel small, but to help you to understand where we are lacking and what we need to do. So please look out for future videos. Leave a comment, like this video, and share it with friends, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you so much again. Until the next video.